What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Or welcome if it's your first time here. A few days ago I posted a video where I was talking about climate change and the fact that the powers that be are using weather manipulation, weather modification to cause extreme weather events like drought, heat, flooding in certain areas and things like that, that they're going to then use the mainstream media to blame on man-made climate change and proof that we have to come together to save the planet. We have to have lockdowns. We have to get rid of fossil fuels. We have to do this, that, or something else to save the planet because of things they're actually doing themselves behind the scenes for an excuse to be able to get public opinion to sway their way. And I got some comments and emails to that video from people talking about that they can't control the weather. They can't manipulate the weather. Only God can do that. And that's simply not the case any longer, unfortunately. I wish that were the case. If it were, we wouldn't be having all these issues that we're having with the weather, I don't think. However, they can manipulate, they can control the weather. And, there are natural weather events that they don't control, they can't control. However, lots of events they can make happen. If they put their efforts toward making it a drought in one location, they can do that. If they want flooding in another location, they can do that. And I'm going to show you the patterns here in just a minute to prove that fact. And this is what they're doing, guys, and they're blaming it on global warming, man-made global warming, on cow farts. And like I said, they're going to use this to make everyone follow their lead, follow what they want, and make everyone obey this climate agenda because they're going to have proof, supposedly, of what is happening, of climate change. You're going to be able to see it with your own eyes. You're going to be able to feel it. You're going to be able to feel the heat. You're going to feel the drought and wildfires and things that they themselves have caused. But then they will go through the mainstream media talking heads and the politicians and convince the majority of the population we have to do this, we have to lock down, we have to have climate lockdowns. We have to ban fossil fuels. We have to get rid of your gas stove, your air conditioning, your wood stoves. We have to lower the population, full, total dominant control, because of things they're actually doing behind the scenes to lead everyone to think, by using the mainstream media to push that narrative and the politicians, that the climate is completely collapsing. And if we don't do this right now, we're all going to die. The planet's going to melt down. We're all going to be just vaporized in a puff of climate change smoke, apparently. The guys from Encyclopedia Britannica online website, geoengineering, earth science. Geoengineering, the large-scale manipulation of a specific process central to controlling Earth's climate for the purpose of attaining a specific benefit. If geoengineering proposals are to influence global climate in any meaningful way, they must intentionally alter the relative influence of one of these controlling mechanisms. It goes on until you're talking about cloud seeding and things like that, with the links to prove this. However, over here, something even more interesting, I think, that was just published by Geoengineering Watch, United States Patent and Trademark Office. And these have been being filed about controlling the weather, manipulating the weather since July 16th, 1891. So this is nothing new. They've been trying to do this for a long time. And like I said, now they're doing this, in my opinion, and they're going to do this, and they're going to cause extreme weather events, and they're going to blame it on you and I, man-made global warming, climate change. And it is, in fact, man-made, man-made by them. July 16th, 1891, method of producing rainfall. But it goes down to here, rain-making, artificial clouds, 1928, production of fog, airplane spray equipment, method of dispelling fog, that was in 1936, artificial fog production, smoke screen generation, smoke producing mixture, process for controlling the weather, that's pretty obvious, 1951, process for controlling the weather, smoke generation, metal chloride screening, smoke mixture, control of tropical cyclone formation. Think about that. Control of tropical cyclone formation means they can make cyclones. They can control of tropical cyclone formation. And that was in 1956. You can imagine just how advanced they are now. They've put a lot of effort into this because they want to control the weather, to manipulate the population, and to use weather warfare against other nations. And the United States isn't the only one doing this. Process for weather control, 1956. More fog dispelling, cloud seeding, carbon dioxide bullet. I've not looked at all these PDF file patents, but you can see, just reading them through here, what they've been working on. Let's see here. Self-focusing antenna system. That's probably to be used to control the weather somehow. Also, I think all this is pretty much about controlling the weather. I would say this self-focusing antenna system is to focus some kind of tool, weapon, whatever, at a certain portion of the cloud, maybe to make rainfall, something like that. Weather control by artificial means, cloud seeding apparatus, smoke producing propellant, 1969 rainmaker, artificial clouds, method of cloud seeding. It's new methods for cloud seeding, more efficient methods, no doubt. Freezing, nuclearization. It's hard to say for me, guys, for some reason. Fog dispensing methods. On and on. Clouds, more different cloud seeding patterns. Freezing, ice, nucleation. 1975 method for controlling the weather. Smoke generation, 1976. Countermeasure system for laser radiation, 1976. Organic nucleating agent for both warm and cold clouds. Flood bed chaff dispenser, whatever that means. I don't know about that, guys. Aerosol dispenser system. Bipolar fog. Aerosol particulate charge and size analyzer. Method of producing cumulus clouds. And this is 1980s now we're into now. Let's see here. 1988 method for making artificial snow. I mean, they can make it snow. Not naturally, but they make it snow. They call it artificial snow. Let's see. More cloud seeding. More cloud seeding. And that's to make it... A lot of our weather is controlled, through the clouds and the rainfall and things like that. They can cause snow and everything from the clouds from above. Tropical cyclone disruption means they was working on how to make a cyclone happen earlier, and now they're 1995 tropical cyclone disruption, meaning they want to be able to stop, a natural cyclone controlling the weather. Method of and means of weather modification, 1996. Weather modification by artificial satellites, meaning they're doing it from space now. Solar powered airplane. 2000, method of modifying weather. So anyone that thinks that they're not manipulating the weather, not modifying the weather, and they're not using this as proof of man-made climate change, it is man-made climate change, but they're the ones doing it, but they're blaming us for it, and they're blaming cow farts for it, and they're blaming fossil fuels for it, and they're blaming the fact you have an air conditioner for it, because they want to push their agenda, obviously. 2005, weather modification by rural rainmaking technology. So they're getting more advanced up in the 2000s. Method for extracting and sequestering carbon dioxide. 2007, a dust or particle-based solar shield to counteract global warming. So you can see they've been doing this since 2007. We had Bill Gates talk about blocking out the sun. They've been doing this already since 2007, probably before. And right here is what they're talking about, how to do that. That's the patent for doing that. March 15th, 2007, Challenger to natural twisters, hurricane abatement method and system, tropical hurricane control system, seawater-based carbon dioxide disposal, method of removing aerosols from the atmosphere, method for controlling hurricanes, machine to get rid of hurricanes, how to tame hurricanes and typhoons with available technology, hurricane prevention methods, climate processor, whatever that means, method of weakening a hurricane, weather management using space-based power systems, ground-based manipulation and control, aerial delivery devices, systems and methods, artificial freezing apparatus and freezing method. It just goes on and on and on and on, guys. I mean, it's just touching the surface. That's what we actually has been released. You know, there's more top secret things we don't know about. Method to influence the direction of travel of hurricanes. And I remember a hurricane that was heading towards Florida, I think it was 10 years ago or more maybe. And it was coming, and all of a sudden it went at the one side. And a lot of people, conspiracy theorists, said they were manipulating the weather. And people said, dang, that's not going to happen. There's no way. And right here, talking about the method for actually doing that, just that. And once again, the conspiracy theorists were right. Methods for disrupting tornadic activity, airships for weather manipulation, systems and methods for inducing rainfall, rain induced by super continuum laser beams, methods for affecting spinning atmospheric phenomena, device for seeding a cloud, 2020, artificial generation of tornado, hurricane, yellow dust, and typhoons. And on, and you can see on and on and on down through here, guys. It is crazy. I'll put a link to this in the description box below. You can check this out in the first pinned comment also. And you can click over here to actually download the PDFs to these and read how these are done. But I'm not an expert on all these, obviously, but I do know that they are using weather manipulation to manipulate the weather, obviously, and to blame it on man-made climate change that you and I are supposedly doing, cow farts, the fact that we drive an automobile, fossil fuels. They're using this, weather manipulation, pushing this through the media to get everyone on board to think the world is ending because of man-made climate change and the way they're portraying it. And it really, in my opinion, isn't the case. We have absolute proof. They're manipulating the weather. They're causing extreme weather events. And like I said, you look at all these patents, but there's a lot more top secret things we don't know about. And they're much more advanced than what they're showing right here. They said they're at least 10, 20 years more advanced than any method that's displayed here in these patents. So, know what's going on. Figure this stuff out. Don't be so blinded by your preconceived notions that you don't think logically and actually look into things and figure out how things actually work and what they're actually capable of. But in my opinion, there's natural climate change. I'm not saying that the climate does change. There's natural climate change. However, they're using, in my opinion, this weather manipulation, weather warfare to cause extreme weather events. And they're coming out and saying it's because of cow farts. It's because of fossil fuels. We need to lock down. We need full, total dominant control over the world to limit the population, do all this Agenda 2030 agenda and put that in place to save the planet. They cause the problem and they come in and offer the solution, but the solution is always to give them more power. Thought the video was interesting. Give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. And a quick more matter. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.